We already have some incredibly rare and valuable fish, and today we're only going to get more. Because look how fast our money is going up, and look how many little ones we have waiting to grow. One of which is even a painted epic, which is going to be worth many tens of thousands of dollars per day once it grows. The 4 adults listed right here themselves make over $200,000 a day. We also have things like the clownfish. They make $872 a day, but they're worth $85,000 to sell, because that gave us $256,000, which is enough to buy another Reef Fellas pack, which is what these guys are. These are very valuable. Even just their common versions, but the moray eel we just got will make us $80,000 per day once it's grown. So we'll check back on this tomorrow and see how many of these have grown up and what they're going to be worth. My other tanks do still have a little bit of room for fish, so we're going to buy a few more of these. They're not going to be super valuable anymore, but they might as well grow. This tank currently only has 3 fish in it, so we're going to need to do something about that. 19 packs of fish, there's probably going to be a few legendaries in there. Or not a single one, that's cool too. A brisk 12 hours later, look how much money we're making, like $20 a second. Oh, and we have a bunch of beautiful, valuable fish. This black tang makes $214,000 every day. And the non-painted Achilles tang is even 200 grand a day. We have a lot of different fish that make a lot of money. But things that are making less than $10,000 a day are instantly gonna go. They're worth $90,000, so I'm gonna take that money. Even the ruby red dragonet, $11,000, it's gotta go. I'm officially a millionaire for the first time, $1.2 million. We could buy 6 sets of fish. That will give us an extra 24. That'll put us up to 50 out of 60 capacity. And hopefully we get something. There's another epic, which is good, a blobby cowfish, and an epic we haven't seen before. Was kind of hoping for some legendaries, but we did get another black tang, which apparently we don't know what it is, but I mean, we can see the name. Anyways, these 4 by themselves are going to be worth a fortune. I'm maybe going to sell just a few more fish, hoping for upgrades. Since we still have capacity, it's worth it. We'll get $91,000 for selling this. It would take it over 8 days to make that money back. Anyways, sold a few basic morons, $400,000, so we could buy at least another 2 packs. Which do hold for us a painted common, but another epic. Those epics are really what are going to make us the money. So we'll check in again in another 12 or 24 hours to see what these idiots have done. I'm getting completely addicted to opening this game and seeing the new fish. It's been 7 or 8 hours and we've definitely got some new ones to look at. The painted pufferfish earns $18,000 a day, or we could sell it now for 180 grand. And there's a lot of these other basic fish that don't really earn a lot, but I can sell them for a lot right now. So we're going to go through and sell anything that's probably making less than $20,000 a day. Ruby red dragonet, your days are limited. Ones like this I love because it's such an easy choice to sell them. The clownfish is so fitting though, $872 a day. Like there was fish in my first tank that make more than that. Well, after selling those little rascals, $2.2 million. Which is really only enough to buy another 10 of these, but the tank actually gets full before that. We can actually upgrade the tank so we can fit another 20 fish in here. That costs $200,000 by itself, but then we can buy another just about 2 packs. So we'll see what we get out of the many packs of fish. We got a painted epic, that's going to be worth a lot, and other than that, it's a lot of very quick fish. We did get our first legendary. That should be worth hundreds of thousands every day, potentially even millions. I need to make a quick $1,000 though, so let's go back to one of our old tanks and sell you. That actually worked. We're about to break $200,000. By the time we get back to our tank, we're good to go. And we got an epic cowfish out of this deal. So we got 67 out of 80 capacity. We'll come back again in a while and check, sell, and hope for bigger, better fish. It's been a few good hours and we have a few good fish. Also $500,000, so that also feels pretty good. My legendary still has a little way to go, but the new zebra looking fish sells for 140 grand. And this one's good, only makes $5,300 a day, but it's worth 180. I'll miss it dearly. And then there's definitely a good run of lesser valued fish that we're going to sell for an absolute fortune. We're making so much money off these, 93,000, 90,000, 90,000. It just keeps going and going until we have $3.2 million, so that should mean we can buy a few more packs for 200 grand. We've maxed out this tank's capacity again and we still have $1.4 million in the bank. And out of those packs, we did wind up with 3 epics and another legendary. And that's only our second saltwater legendary, so that'll hopefully be done in about 12 hours when we'll come back to look. Another 12 hours later, look at all these fish and look at how fast our money goes up. I don't know if it's quite $100 a second, but it's pretty close, and that means a lot of money. We made $2.8 million. And this painted epic banded coral shrimp is worth almost $1 million every day. That's huge. And the legendary lionfish that hatched are worth $500,000 every day, so we're making a lot of passive income. Plus we got some snails down below that we need to try and feed at some point because they're taking a long time to grow up. We may have to change our cutoff point. We were doing below 20,000 per day before. I'm going to sell those for now and see how many fish we're left with. $33,000 a day doesn't seem overly useful anymore. But we make so much money selling these low value fish. But after selling that round of morons, we have $5.14 million. So I'm going to spend 1.2 of that upgrading the tank so we get another 20 morons in here. And this tank's earned a pirate ship. We're going to go ahead and pop that down maybe over here. Then we're going to see how many fish we can afford to buy. Hopefully we can mostly fill the tank, and we can. With room to spare at that, and we definitely got a few epics. Not only that, but we got another legendary. And then it's just us and our $1.75 million waiting here for fish to grow again. I do like how every time I come back to this game, I have many millions more dollars. Plus a painted legendary, but we earned $2.5 million while I was away. And we have another tank very, very full of fish. We're still at 98 capacity, so I'm definitely going to have to sell a lot of these. I don't necessarily have to, but I want to. Each one of these is worth roughly $100,000. This fish looks really cool, but that's a shame because I'm going to sell it. $5,000 per day is not enough to make me want to keep it. 173 now. I'm going to start selling fish, even these ones that are 33,000 per day, because I get the instant money for them, and we're going to flip them. Hoping to replace them with something worth just a little more. That feels a little better. Half the tank is cleared out, but we have $10 million. At least until we buy our 12 packs of new fish, now we have 7.3. But amongst these 50 new fish are many that we can flip very quickly for profit, and 3 epics and 1 legendary that are all going to be big long-term earners. I spent a few hours force feeding these idiots, in particular the snails have grown up. It is in fact a sea slug worth $483,000 every single day. So that means we have a lot of fish earning us hundreds of thousands of dollars every day. But we did also grow a lot of these other ones that are only worth $33,000 a day, so if they're not $50,000 a day or more, they're gonna go. And the Neo Hogfish is the last one to go. That gives us $12.5 million to work with. Naturally, we're going to spend as much of that as we can on more fish. As I was opening these, I heard a lot of happy sounds. I was really hoping for some gold varieties too for some easy quick money. No gold variety, but we did get our 3 epic cowfish. But since I have the capacity for 3 more fish, I'm going to sell this one for 150 grand, and now we can buy 4 more fish to replace it. And what an exciting 4 fish it is. To be fair, I do actually like the clownfish. They take 30 minutes if I'm not force feeding them, and they're worth lots of money. But also, I'm going to sit here and force feed them for the next 12 hours, and then we'll see what we're left with on the other side. Another 12 hours, another 100 grown-up fish. The money is well over $100 per second right now. Even while I've been saying this, we just made another $800. And our new legendaries have grown up. A frogfish, they're worth $2 million a day. So that would explain why the money's going up so fast right now. Plus, look at all these epics we have making us money. But every fish from here down is not an epic. It's going to be a rare or a painted rare or a common. There's a lot of money in fish sitting here. And considering how quickly I can actually grow these, I think it's worth it to just straight up sell them. Given that they generally take many days to make the amount I get for them instantly, and we can get them back within a few hours. So I'm actually going to try this without thinking about it much more. I'm going to sell every fish below this point. Anything that's not an epic or legendary is gone. This makes me realize how many fish I had. You got to keep clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking, but look at all that money. Then I accidentally almost sold that one. I am also going to sell a few of these. They're worth $218,000. It would take them 2 days to make their money back. By that point, we're going to be on to bigger, better fish anyway. The same with the cowfish. They're worth about $250,000 each, so anytime I see one of those, they're also going to go elsewhere. See how much cleaner this looks? Plus, we have about $29 million suddenly. We do need to buy our sets of fish back, but they're going to make us a lot of profit anyways. So that was about $4 million-ish worth of fish, and we'll make more than that back once all of these idiots grow up. There's also a painted frogfish coming up, so that's going to be worth like $4 million a day. I'll start force feeding these idiots in a minute, and then 3-4 hours, basically all of these will be grown and we can sell them again for another probably easy 10 million. A little perspective, it's been hours. My fish are basically all grown up, but I made $2.5 million while I was away. But if I turn around and sell all the non-epic or legendary fish, I'll make a lot more than $2.5 million. Starting with the Royal Grandma. Look at that money just going up and up and up and up. So that's a strategy I probably should have employed a long time ago. But I'm gonna just try and sell just a few more. $214,000 for an epic, $218,000 for an epic. Even the cowfish. As much as I like their silly names, they also need to leave. Then of course I do need to sacrifice an actual useful one, so this one's gotta go. But that gives us over $40 million for the first time. which means for the first time we get to buy marine dwellers. Only one pack, but this did cost $40 million to be fair. 3 commons, 1 rare. The shortest of which takes 2 hours, the rarest should take 16. But that's where little beautiful force feeding comes in. A few minutes later we got a flounder, which is a common fish that earns 300 grand a day, but it's also worth $15 million to sell. But there's still 2 others we can force feed and they'll grow up really quickly. One of our new fish is a longfin batfish, which is this guy. $450,000 a day or $15 million if I sell it now. And what's hopefully going to be the most valuable of the new fish so far, a grouper that looks a little bit like a clownfish. Worth $16 million to sell, 700 grand per day. So by selling these, we're going to easily make our 40 million back, and then we still got 1 more fish that we can grow. Well, let's buy ourselves 40 million more dollars in fish. And we got our first epic plus a painted common. So we'll be able to turn these fish around in no time, especially if we're force feeding them. A few short minutes later, we have a hogfish, which is $3 million a day, or $18 million right now. And then we have a long pointy fish called a Chinese trumpet fish. That will get me a massive $6.3 million a day, or I can sell it now for just about 30, and we're going to do just that. That puts us well over the 40 million. We need to buy another 4 pack of fish for even more massive profit. We got a seahorse that only takes an hour to grow, plus a rare. 1 full-size seahorse. It's a very bright orange. $224,000 a day, or $15 million. And our beautiful painted common is just grown up, a rock greenling. I think I'm going to like some of these fish. This one is worth $8.5 million a day. Look how much the money is going up now just due to this one fish. So we'll very quickly say goodbye to it for almost $40 million, and then we're going to do it all again. And we got a new rare fish with a light on its head. That way you can see in the dark. It turns out I could just sort of magically skip ahead through time now, so I don't need to wait for fish anymore. We have $176 million and all of my fish should be grown. Definitely wish I knew about this like 2 weeks ago and I wouldn't have had to spend so much time doing this, but here we are. So this beautiful gulper eel is worth $14 million a day or $40 million now. Our painted legendary frogfish from the previous tier is worth $4 million a day. That's insane considering this is from the previous tier. And this snail is worth $25 million every single day. There's a lot of fish here, all in the millions. So if they're not worth tens of millions of dollars, they're getting sold. Even his new painted legendary, it's gonna go. Lionfish don't care anymore. For $13 million, you can stay. Anyone else, get out. I will set the cutoff for now at about $8 million. Between these 3 alone is like $40–50 million every single day. After selling the fish, we have $235 million, so we're going to buy more packs of fish, not as many as you might think for that kind of money, 5 new sets. We did get 2 legendaries out of this. One's going to take 6 days, the leafy thing is going to take 4. 1 fake week later, and we got the mascot fish of giant fish. We also made $100 billion. And we're actually making close to $1 million per second right now. So our legendary is a giant squid, and I bet it's worth a lot, $40 billion a day. We could also sell it for $25 billion. The Mola Mola is $1.4 billion a day. This one's only $500 million per day. The painted blue marlin is 2.5, but like we said, if it's less than $1 billion per day, it's getting out of my tank. Which is a few of the fish, but not actually that many of them anymore. So these are all $1 billion per day fish. We have $131 billion to spend on more. 16 packs of fish. There's another legendary. I saw it already. We're bound to get all sorts of things out of this. There's what looks like a colossal whale. There's a painted epic. There's our new legendary. There's 2 of those legendaries, so we're getting all sorts of things. A hammerhead shark. And we have some kind of big mouth fish in the background. These are getting fun. We also made $500 billion while we were waiting. The whale shark was the big one. So we have a painted whale shark. Someone took the time to paint one of those things. And coelacanth. Hammerhead Shark, $7.5 billion per day because it's an epic. The painted epic whale shark, $32 billion a day. Our basic legendary coelacanth is also $32 billion a day, so I feel like we're getting pretty rich. We're making millions of dollars per second. And look at all the legendaries we have. We don't have any painted or gold ones yet. We have so many fish over $1 billion a day now that it's actually getting alarming. That means 30 of our fish are keepers. We can buy another 70. We have $700 billion. I think we've earned a volcano for $1.25 billion. It seems rather cheap now that we think about it. And we bought a bunch of new fish. There's another epic whale shark. I saw a squid. There's another giant squid. We're going to be rich. I also bought a new color of pebbles just to freshen it up after all these hours. 1 week later, and we are very officially trillionaires. $2.5 trillion. We made our empire, our fortune on fish. Even our giant Pacific octopus earns us $1.3 billion a day. And we're making close to $5 million per second. We have a ton of legendaries and epics at this point, so the money's just going to keep going up and up and up. We're going to celebrate by buying a $1 trillion treasure chest. So that means we've won fishing. We've won everything ever. It's just that easy. 1 fake month later, there's $400 million in the bank, plus a bunch of new fish. Which includes a new legendary, the blobfish, and a leafy sea dragon. But you're not ruling anyone, you're just a leaf. A lot of these are worth over $10 million a day, but if they're worth something like $1 million, they're going to go instantly. Which leaves us with a cool 638 million, so we're going to spend that all on fish packs. And we got all these new fish to join the tank, seeing a lot of epics in there, so that feels good. I've just realized that our earnings are limited to 1 week offline, so I should stop skipping a month and just do a week. Whatever the case, we have $4 billion. And a Mantis Shrimp. Plus all these other fun ones that are probably also worth quite a lot. The money's going up. It's a lot of money. $10,000 a second. Maybe not quite, but you get the idea. The Mantis Shrimp is $33 million per day. That feels good. But we definitely need more things like blobfish. $250 million a day. We just need all of those we can get. The scorpion fish is $60 million a day, $90 million a day. So maybe we're going to need a new cutoff. Basically, I'm going to sell probably everything below that, except maybe the snail. $25 million a day, whoops, is going to add up. I think the gulper eel's got to go. $13 million a day is a lot, but it's got to be like $30 million a day or above. We're going to spend almost $1 billion on 23 packs of fish. There's a painted epic already, and I'm sure there's a few epics, maybe even a legendary out there with the amount of fish we just bought. 1 week later, $5 billion of earnings. And that means we have some new fish. The money's still going up alarmingly quickly, and that's what we like to see. The painted Mantis Shrimp is worth $66 million a day. We have a painted gulper eel, so it's white instead of black, $27 million, which is below the $30 million threshold, and we're gonna end up selling a lot of fish right now. I mean, $6 million a day sounds like a lot of money, but in this economy, is it really? But giants, we're gonna get a painted common, 2 rares. Those are gonna be worth so much. But more importantly, I got a rare blue marlin, a rare humphead parrotfish, a painted California sheephead, and a California sheephead. So the painted common by itself is $234 million a day. The humphead parrotfish, which is a rare, $800 million a day. So the money's really going up tens of thousands of dollars per second. So the new cutoff is going to be $100 million a day. If you're not making $100 million a day, get out of my tank. The blue marlin is $1.3 billion a day, so it's going to be a keeper. And because we were waiting for a week, we already have the money we need to buy another set of these, and we got a golden common. That's going to sell for a lot. And we have a manta ray that makes $3.16 billion every single day, so that's a pretty realistic fish. Also, my Goliath grouper, which is a golden common, makes $8 billion a day, and we could sell it for $36 billion. We're finding lots of new fish. Legendaries are hard to come by so far. Wait, we got one. I suspect it's an octopus, but I've been fooled before.